Hello, welcome to Bit Boys, episode X. I don't know which one we're on. I'll figure that out in post. But what episode are we on? 14?
Let me check. I think it's like 12. We're not going to turn into Plat Chat here where we don't ever know that. But you don't number the episodes. You
Yes, because the last one I uploaded, I didn't remember.
13.
I'll fix that too.
14. This is episode 14.
14, I was right.
Wow. Xavier actually got it right.
See?
Wow, okay. I guess he does know what he's talking about.
A little bit.
Well,
okay.
We're trying to get back in the groove of this. Our faithful viewers, they've been itching for more, haven't they?
All 6 of them.
All 6 of them. We're 3 of them, and plus our moms.
My wife.
No, 7.
It's us 3, my wife, Xavier's mom, and like 1 guy on Instagram.
Eric's alt account.
Eric's alt account. We all have alt accounts.
Oh, I just realized Christmas is like this Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Christmas is in 3 days. As of the recording today, it is the 22nd.
So I guess this is also a holiday episode.
This is also start it all over. Welcome to Bit Boys Christmas special.
You want to hear about Christmas? Well, be ready to be disappointed because we're not going to be talking about that.
Well, let's open with a Christmas song. Eric, you start us.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. No, I'm not going to kill the Christmas spirit with that. It will be Feliz Navidad. That way we're going to stop with that.
Well, this year, Eric and I, we have new roommates, and one of them just took the liberty to just decorate, and I didn't have to pull out any of my stuff. So we got a tree, we got decorations. He even did the lights on the roof, on the front of the house.
I'm surprised to learn that you have your own decorations.
I do have my own. I have a box, like a little one of those like foldy boxes that the lid like interlocks with itself. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I have one of those filled with my stuff, my Christmas stuff, and that's it. So it's got silver ornaments. It's got a bunch of Christmas lights in case I ever wanted to hang them up, and then some stockings and stuff.
Basic stuff.
Ribbons.
Enough to get by.
Other Christmas stuff. I used to have a black Santa. I don't know where he is now.
Joe has them.
Does he?
I don't know, but I know he has a black Santa.
That's my black Santa.
Oh, man.
Guess it's his now.
What?
Just that as a secret Santa.
I want a black Santa. I need one of those.
He's really cool.
That's the way to do it.
I know. It's like, I don't know. I think it's just
Santa's
fun.
better looking black. I believe it.
I want I'm going to grab myself an Idris Elba Santa.
Just do it.
I want a nice, good looking.
He is good looking.
Santa, yeah. So I'm not going to lie. He is, yeah. Just a good looking Santa. And my kids are going to grow up with a good looking Idris Elba Santa. No beard. Just the new James Bond as Santa. And they're going to be
Wait. Like was that ever confirmed? I thought that was just like a thought that got shot down.
I don't know. Let's check. We have the internet at our fingertips.
I remember hearing about that a year or 2 ago.
Bond. That's a great idea.
And everyone like was so mad. They're like, "Oh, James Bond is British, so he's gonna be white."
Ay.
I don't know if he is, but I think he was just a. Looks like he rejected it. I have no idea. Who knows? I liked him for the role. If he does it or not, I'd like it if he did. That'd be cool.
I could see it.
I think, yeah, he'd be great for it.
I agree.
We've been watching The Office lately. We're on his episodes, so
Those are good episodes.
Oh my goodness. He's like the only real one there where he's like, how we still have Michael as a worker? Like, how is he still hired?
Yep.
I think when Jan left, they kind of lost their straight man because Jan was that for the longest time, where she's just like, "Who is this crazy person? Like, just he's not fit for working in this company." And then she's gone, and then freaking Charles comes in and replaces that role where he's the only sane person in the company.
Right.
who's looking at this situation like, okay, why is this guy running it? That's great.
Good
Well,
Best American anime by far.
what? American anime.
Yeah.
Live action anime.
Have you ever seen like the actual live action stuff like Bleach or like the Attack on Titan one or anything like that?
I never saw the Attack on Titan one, but I did see the Bleach one. It's not that bad.
I actually
Way
haven't.
worse.
I don't know why I bring it up, but I'm just very scared too.
I've seen the Full Metal Alchemist one, and it is really weird because
That was pretty tough to
yeah,
watch.
that one was bad, and it's kind of weird because I know that the anime they're Japanese, but the setting is in like a European setting for Full Metal Alchemist, right? Would you agree? Would you
Yes,
say
yeah.
that
Yeah.
It's in but the live action anime casts it in Japan and everybody's Japanese, which is fine, but it's just kind of off-putting when you first come in. You're like, oh,
Yeah, because I never really I never watched Full Metal Alchemist thinking that everyone has, the Asian heritage. Because the people from Xing are clearly more of the Asian, race, right? But the people that are in, I forgot what the main land is called.
I
Central.
don't remember.
People that live in Central, they all are
They're
completely
European.
different from them. They're European looking,
Yeah.
exactly. More of the German, Italian type look, right?
Mhm.
And then so they look completely different. They're countries across. So I had the idea, like, they're clearly different races in these countries.
And
But no.
Ed's got long blonde hair, and they dyed some Japanese kid's hair blonde, or he's wearing like a long blonde wig, and it just looks weird. So,
It does.
that alone, just that cat, like if everybody else was Japanese except for that one kid, like it doesn't matter. But it's just when you first go into it, it's off-putting. Maybe that's just because I'm a white guy, but
Well, you know what's
I
good?
expect everything to be white.
Pacific
but
Rim. If that's, I don't know if that's anime or got any like.
It's mech anime.
But yeah,
it's live, but it's a mech
counts.
anime basically. Great, that's a good movie. Second one and first one, awesome.
Godzilla? I've never seen any Godzilla movies actually.
Me neither.
I'm not talking about the new Godzillas. I'm talking about the old school Japanese Godzillas.
Godzilla! Godzilla!
Like, what was it? The baby of Godzilla or Godzilla, the child of Godzilla? Fantastic film. Tell you that much.
I'll
That
have
little
to.
baby sounds like a donkey.
I'll have to look into this.
That sounds great.
It's amazing.
Oh wait. Weird transition. I kind of like, what were we gonna talk about today? And I'm like, wait, the biggest thing that happened all year besides COVID, Cyberpunk.
Well, this is definitely bigger than COVID, right?
Yeah, COVID's no longer a thing according to
Congratulations,
our old
Cyberpunk actually
president.
came out.
This is my justification for this. COVID was only teased for 3 months before we got lockdowns. Cyberpunk was teased for like 10 years.
There you
I
go.
mean,
All the evidence you need.
COVID was never delayed. It
Nope.
just-
Just came
Our
smack
reopening
down
is
under-
keeps getting delayed.
nothing was cut from COVID. It just came right and did what it was going to do.
Not even updates. It's just still
Sorry.
going.
I'm sorry. It doesn't need an update. There's no patches. No, actually, UK got a COVID patch.
Wait,
It is literally a patch.
I
Okay,
think
I'm
I
done.
saw a little headline saying there's a new strand of it, but I don't even want to get into it. I just saw a headline,
yeah.
so whatever.
Yeah.
But back to Cyberpunk.
Let's talk about real things.
Things that we're also not professionals in.
Cyberpunk.
Sure. This is true. Cyberpunk is a great game.
So
fun.
what
It's
has
definitely very fun.
Reddit said about Cyberpunk, Tyler? Let me give it to me.
Well, okay.
Our Reddit
I-
for
I
specialists.
like to in our Discord. I like to every time I go to
Rant.
Reddit and I see something that bothers me, triggers me. I get triggered easily on Reddit, and then I come into our Discord and I write like freaking pages and pages of my rant on what it makes me
They're
feel.
so
And
long.
they're so long. Everybody ignores it, which I'm fine with. I just
They're so long. I don't even read
I
it.
usually read I power read through these sentences. Like,
I'll read the first paragraph, and that's all. That's it.
I just gotta get it out of my head. That's really I don't care if people read it. I gotta get it out of my head.
I get
And
it.
so in my head, I know that Reddit is a conglomerate of like millions of people, but really I like to imagine it as like one guy who's like he's like a 28-year-old white guy sitting in his mom's basement who goes to college still, and it's just he's the only guy on Reddit making all the posts and
Smartest
the comments
guy in the room.
Yeah, he's that guy, and so yeah, I get triggered on it. And so before Cyberpunk came out, I knew there was going to be a huge backlash against it because everybody was preparing for it. When it was delayed the second time, a bunch of people were saying, "Oh, this is going to be bad. This doesn't bode well for the game. It's going to come out bad." And so what I knew was going to happen is it was going to come out, and regardless of whether it was actually good or not, people were going to start saying, "This is bad." And they were going to be like, "Oh, this confirmed my suspicions. My expectations were destroyed." Because what happens with games when they're hyped up a lot, people build up their expectations, and then so that they're not disappointed, they tear their own expectations down. And then when it comes out and it meets their really, really low expectations, they're validated, and they say, "Oh, look, it is bad. See, I knew it. I knew it was bad." And regardless of what it happened with Pokemon Sword and Shield, it happened with No Man's Sky was a whole different story, but it was still the same thing. They had huge hype, and then hype destroyed. Look at this, I knew it was going to be whatever. All
Anthem.
That stuff.
Anthem's another example.
It happened with Anthem, and now Cyberpunk's just the next one. Whatever next, it's going to happen with the next game too. Whatever big AAA giant hits coming next, same thing's going to happen to it, where it's going to be hyped up.
Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2, yeah. And people are going to then proceed to poop on it for, either news articles will do it so they get more clicks because it's controversial. They're like, "Ooh, this thing that everybody loved, it's actually bad. Oh, well, I got to click on that and read why they think it's bad," that kind of thing. And so it's kind of, that's what I think, at least. It's just to drive, people to click things, to be controversial about stuff. I know the game has lots of bugs. It doesn't run very well on PS4 and Xbox, and CDPR didn't really show us any footage of those things, which kind of sucks. But they are doing a lot to reconcile that. They're offering full refunds even if the stores you bought it from don't offer refunds, and they took it off the PlayStation Store for PS4. So even if they were malicious in their intent to not show anybody footage of those versions, they're rectifying it in a way that they can that hurts them a lot, I think, but they're still doing it. So yeah, they're not the good guy company everybody.
Didn't it become the most profitable, or I don't know what's the word, the most paid, the biggest sell, I don't know, single player game ever or something like that? I heard something like that. I don't know
if that's true or not, but huge.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Everybody wanted this game and everybody bought it. So
the only closest thing I could think of would be like Skyrim or something like that,
Yeah. And CDPR is not our friend. They're a company. They want to make money off of us, which is, that's what companies do. But they do run one of the best stores with GOG, Good Old Games. Like, there's no DRM in that store. You buy a game there, you can download the install files, save them somewhere, and have the game forever. So it's a nice place, but it's not Steam. Everybody uses Steam anyway. So, but they're still a company. They want money, and they're going to do what they can to make money. And so I can't really fault a company for trying to make money. It's not my place.
So if you look at Cyberpunk as a product, do you think it's worth the $60 then?
If you buy it on PC, Xbox Series X, or PS5, yes. If you bought it on PS4 and Xbox One, you refund it and then wait to buy it on something else if you can. That's what I think. Because the refund period is not done yet. I don't know if it's passed or not. So we'll see. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it on those platforms. Apparently it runs really bad, so I'd wait and see for those. But PC, other ones, definitely worth $60. Really, really good game.
Like, my system's kind of dated now, but it still runs pretty well, except for the trees. I can see the trees through everything. They'll be on the foreground of my site, just glitching through all the walls in between the tree and me.
Right.
But that was my only problem with it, really. Like, that. I wasn't having any game-breaking glitches or weird visual stuff.
Weird visual things. best ones.
Did something just fall?
Yeah, I had a lamp up and the cat just grabbed it and pulled it. Whatever.
Moving on.
What I love about these huge open world single player games like Cyberpunk or Skyrim or whatever is the hilarious game bugs that happen. Like, I had one where it's the very first mission, you walk out onto the balcony and you deliver that lady to the surgical team, and you come back. I came back inside. Jackie just walked straight through like 4 filing cabinets, and everything just exploded out of it into the room. And he's like, "Come on, Izzy, let's go." And he just walks out. It was the funniest thing. And I know our buddy, he had Jackie just walk straight through cars, just right through the middle of them. So those things are hilarious. I love them, and then they need to be patched out of the game. But you don't get that experience when you buy the game 2 years from now.
See, one of mine is I went to that one bar, Afterlife or something like that. I parked my car, and as I'm getting out, or wherever, I noticed that an NPC spawned, like where I'm at, because I got there pretty quickly, and I guess they didn't appear yet. But he spawned inside my car, so any attempt for me to just drive anywhere would instantly run him over and kill him. And so I did. Witnesses everywhere. The cops were after me. I did nothing wrong. I just parked my car and he spawned on me, glitching through my car. It was insane. I was like, what?
My biggest glitch was probably me walking across like the freeway area. Like, it was underneath the freeway is this big bridge over me, right? And I'm just running underneath the roads underneath the freeway. There's tons of cars coming by, but there's an opening. I'm like, okay, I can run across. I run across, and I pass the street, right? I'm no longer on the road. I'm on the grass right next to it. And for some reason, the car, as it's coming down the road, for some reason, it goes onto the grass and runs me over. I was like, what the I get up. I was like, what? I didn't die or nothing. I was like, what did that? What? And so I just look, and the car like goes back on the road and leaves. And then all the cars coming down the road keep going the exact same route that car just did. They'd go on the grass, back on the road. On the grass, back on the road. Like, I was like, what just happened? It was the weirdest thing.
Fantastic glitches in this game. I've sent a few to our Discord. Here, let me send one that I think you should stick up and edit it to, because it is so good. This one is great. You can just skip to no, it's like 30. It's like 10 seconds or 30 seconds. Like, this guy just starts driving his car and then it blacks out.
What?
And you can see it. You can see what happens.
I thought something was wrong with my... What?
What just happened? Can you even get the point what happened?
They're so great.
Oh my gosh.
Does that even happen?
It just starts.
And it explodes.
Boom. Poor guy.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. Oh, those are the kind of glitches that I just love.
They remind me of like Skyrim glitches.
Yeah, exactly. Those are fun
Exactly.
days. Those are really
Exactly.
fun days.
That's amazing.
Like just people just walking, trying to walk forward, but they're hitting a table, so they're just walking in place at the table or something.
There's a bunch of chairs on the way. As they walk, everything just moves. The bread like somehow just flips into the ceiling. Just like things don't make sense.
I didn't share this other one, but I saw one where this person was just driving their car. Again, they're just driving their car. Screen blacks out just like in this other one. And then it comes back, and the person is flying just in the sky, like 2 miles above the city. They can see the edges of the map, and they're just falling from there. Just out of nowhere. It's so great.
What's happening?
So I can't find that one. I thought I sent it to you guys too, but I didn't. But oh man, you can just look it up. Just look up Cyberpunk bugs or glitches. They're so funny.
There's a lot of them. But
oh yeah, there's so many. There's too many, but they're funny. It's so good.
Does not deter the fact that the game is fun to play, though.
Yeah,
it is definitely fun.
I didn't know anything actually going into this. Like, I knew it's been being developed for a long time. I knew people were hyped for it. I knew it was going to be a big game. But I honestly, besides the setting and Keanu Reeves, I had no idea what the game was even about or anything. I was just like, I'm going to buy it. I know I am. I just don't know what I'm doing or what it's going to be.
I'm just following the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
That's the best way to go into the game. If you have zero expectations for Cyberpunk, you're going to go in and have a great time. And you're going to be like, this is an amazing game. And I think I do that too. I look at a game's announcement and maybe watch the trailer and then never look at anything. I don't trust what people say about it. I don't trust what developers say about it. I don't trust what the media says about it. Because they're all saying what they want to say to get people to buy the game. You know, they're going to hype it up, they're going to excite it, and they're going to build things into it and put expectations on it that the game can never live up to. So I stay away from that stuff as much as possible and go in blind. I don't like reading reviews for things. I don't like doing that because I like to have my own opinions of it. I just want to see what is the game for me stand on its own, like from other things. And then once I get that opinion, I'll go out and look at reviews and things and compare my thoughts with other people's thoughts and get mad at them for not agreeing with me, because that's what you do on the internet, right? If someone doesn't agree with you, you get angry, and then you yell at your friends in Discord about it. That's the rational thing.
See, right now, Cyberpunk's going to be like my new Skyrim. I've played Skyrim so much. I've done so many playthroughs, so many different builds, that to the point, even with mods, that I can change up the game now. Like, I'm just tired of Skyrim. And I've been looking for a new game where I can do that all over. And I feel like this is going to be the game where I'll put like hundreds of hours into for the next 10 years.
Yep.
And you can. Like, there's so much stuff to do in this game. It has a lot of depth in how you want to play it.
It's almost overwhelming when you look at the menu or even on the map. You're just like, there's so many things I can upgrade, so many places and missions I could go to. It's pretty crazy, and it's very fun.
I've only put in like less than 20 hours into the game so far, though. Like, and those 20 hours have been spent doing side missions and dying. Because I tried to do things that I can't yet.
Let's do this mission. I died to one shot. Let's do it again.
Basically.
I spent like 2 hours doing that. It was I had this sniper rifle that one-shots people, but if I get shot once, I die. So it's basically whoever shoots the other guy first wins. They had like 30 people, and there's just me. And so I replayed it about 20 different times, trying to figure out the best way to approach this mission, as I was trying to one-shot people and not get shot by them, and outsmarting the really, really bad, stupid AI. It's really easy to outsmart them. But if there's enough of them, you die.
Yeah, because they'll just pop out of an angle.
They just load in behind you and shoot you.
And then there's like 4 hackers that are all overheating you, and you're just like, I just need to throw some grenades and get these fools back in there. Like,
yeah,
it gets tough. It's fun.
I put the game on very hard because just like in Skyrim, when you play a stealth archer, it's super easy. You know, you put the game on really hard, but if you're a stealth archer, you one-shot everything. Same thing. You get there's a mission where you end up getting a really powerful sniper rifle that has a silencer on it. You just crouch, put some specs into your stealth, one-shots everybody, just all the time, and they don't even see you. Unless they find the body, you're good to go. You can just keep shooting them because they can't hear it because it's silenced. And so that's how I play missions, and they're really easy because they just kill everybody really fast.
See, some things I see online is that people always bash the stealth routes. They're like, oh, you're a stealth build? Get out of here. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty good approach until you get caught. Then you just pull out your shotgun and just go to town.
Right.
Yeah. I think
the fact in this game how you can just go into your inventory even in combat and just kind of swap off your sniper rifle if you get caught. It's like, oh shoot, let me just pause everything. Hold on. Put away the sniper. The sniper just disappears. Assault rifle. All right, let's go.
You
know?
You can not eat cheese in the middle of combat. Although you do have an unlimited supply of breeding things, and you can just go into your inventory and craft a bunch of them in the middle of combat.
Your inhalers are infinite.
Yeah. I really like that about the game. I know some people might not because it decreases the difficulty of it. But I like in an RPG like this that you can just craft pretty much unlimited healing items, because it lessens the tediousness of going through difficult missions and having to restart them over and over and over and over and over again. And I don't mind doing that in a game like Dark Souls, where that's the point of the game, where the point of the game is to master the mechanics and to go through it and, go
You
into
got 7
boss,
flasks. You got 1 boss. Try to figure it out.
die over and over again until you figure exactly what you need to do. But that's not what Cyberpunk is, and I didn't want it to be Dark Souls. It's an RPG. The goal of the game is to experience as much of the world as possible and to get through the missions and stuff. And so I don't care that you can just throughout a fight and just cheese your way through it by sniping the guy in the head as many times. And if he hits you once, you go down to 44 health, suck on some more inhalers, back up to full. And the fight may take like 20 minutes because you only do 1% damage with every sniper shot on a boss, but doesn't matter. I'm still having fun. And during that time is when I can, clean out my mechanics in the game and learn more about the game is while I'm actually playing it, instead of having to restart, load the game up again, because the game takes longer to load than Dark Souls does. So although the game does load really fast compared to like GTA 5 or any Rockstar game really. GTA 5 on my SSD takes like 6 hours to load. This game loads in like 20 seconds. So, but I don't know. What I'm saying, it's just I like being able to stay in the fight as long as I can with unlimited healing items to encourage me to just keep playing the game and not quit because I'm frustrated at dying a lot.
Makes sense.
So, should we talk about the spoiler? Well, we usually do anyways.
Should we warn people first, or should we like...
Well, it's the very beginning of the game. Very beginning, before it even shows you the title of the game.
Put an edit right here. It's warning, spoiler ahead.
See, I didn't even get very far into the story. So this is like the very beginning, but it's just Jackie.
Hold on, but is there anything else anybody wants to say about the game before we get into spoilers? Because I think that is a spoiler because it's pretty, whatever. But
it's early, but look. It's early, and for those that were watching, like I believe it was spoiled like 3 weeks before the game even came out that the guy that this happens, right? But for those that weren't searching, like us, it was very unexpected. So I wouldn't be surprised if some people don't even know and don't want to know. Yeah. So I totally get it.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say about the game without spoiling it in like a review kind of way, where you like thoughts on the game without spoiling?
Thoughts on the game? I think it's pretty fun.
Good game.
Yeah. Okay.
I bought a plasma rifle. And then on the very next mission, I found the exact same rifle with a sight. So, I wasted my money on that. It's very
I never
annoying.
buy any guns when I'm early level because I know how these kind of games work. Is you're going to find loot and you're going to keep cycling through weapons pretty quickly until you get to a mid-range level where at this point you have to start crafting and like upgrading your weapons, the ones that you want to use. So that's why I haven't bought any good weapons yet.
Makes sense.
Okay, spoilers now?
Spoilers. I was so sad when Jackie died.
Oh my goodness. I legitimately cried.
I was at the point of it. I was really like literally my heart dropped. I was like actually emotional about it. I was like, I can't believe
you spend a couple hours with this guy and you get to know him and he's really funny. He's really he's that comic relief. He's just like a big brother.
Yeah.
You know that point when you're watching a movie or a show or something, like even an anime, and you go, I really like this guy. He's such a nice person.
I like this Reiner guy. He's a cool
guy.
Gonna
die. I know he's gonna die. That as soon as the heist mission started, I'm like, Jackie's gonna die, isn't he? He's gonna die.
I was in denial. I was like, it's gonna get better. It's Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to fix him up somehow, make him better.
Yeah, and I was like, no, this isn't that kind of game. They're not gonna try to break my expectations. They're not gonna follow that trope. They're better than this. They're better than this, aren't they? Jackie, no.
Dude, when you're inside of that room, I got so scared. I was actually nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally in this guy's room. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. And then you go hide inside the fountain, and you see the smasher right there, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I swear, if they find us, we're dead. And then you fall, right? And then I'm just like, oh crap, this is good. This can only go from bad to worse.
This is a Call of Duty campaign.
And then once you're on the floor and you realize that the chip's going to, be destroyed if we don't do anything about it, and Jackie puts it in his head, at that very moment I was like, Jackie's gonna die, and I'm not gonna be able to get over
I'm
it.
not ready for this.
I wasn't.
The entire game I'm playing through, and I'm like, Jackie's gonna come back, right? Every mission, I'm like, this is where Jackie gives me a call. He just calls me up. Hey, Holmes. I just
up,
to say, hi, I'm better. My family took me to the hospital. I'm good to go. Let's go on some missions.
Okay, took me to urgent care.
That never happened.
Dude.
I was
rough.
like,
It's
if this
such a
is going to
rough
be your
moment.
guy, your companion for the whole game, I was totally fine with that.
Yeah, I agree. And what's cool is that no matter how you go about the story, he's going to be there in every
To
way.
die.
And he's to die.
To break your heart every time.
It's so
Yep.
sad.
will
And then
always
you go
be
to if you go to the funeral, and it's just like, wow.
Oh,
that
I
is- this is
cried there
just
too.
putting. This is just digging the knife deeper, man. It
Yep.
just sucks.
It's supposed to help you let go. Nope, not for me. It made it worse.
Do you think that Keanu was a good replacement? Is that what they're trying to do? Like, here, we'll take Jackie, but you can have Keanu now.
No, he's a dick.
He's not as funny. He is a jerk.
A jerk.
He's got some
Jackie's a
moments where you're
good
just
guy.
like, well, you have moments where he's like, oh, he could be all right, but then for 80% of the time, he's just being a dick.
So
Yeah.
Keanu's character is Johnny, and I like how Keanu also plays John Wick, Johnny and John. I'm like, what?
I don't know. There's a mission that references that. Not Johnny Silva, but John Wick, and you go to a Russian guy who stole a guy's car who had a dog. And he's like, I had no idea a guy would get so mad after I killed his dog. It's so great.
That's amazing.
And so then you go and take the car and deliver it to someone, but that's it. It's just like a few lines of a reference to John Wick. It's pretty funny. And then there's an Office reference where you go save a Japanese guy from a refrigerator, and you bring him back, and his name is Hariyama, something like that. I don't know, some Japanese name. And then the other guy's name is Dennis. And so he's like, Dennis, save life. Like, you don't save life. Like, what's his name? I don't remember their names. But he's the surgeon that works in the warehouse in the office, and he tells the story.
I don't make no mistake.
Heart surgeon.
I am the best. And then the guy, he's like a brain surgeon, and he kills the Yakuza boss, or the Tiger Claws boss.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if the viewers do, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, that's so funny.
It's a mission you could go through. It's great. I did it, and once I finished it, once I got to the point, I was like, wait, Dennis? Oh, this is an Office reference. And it was very fun to watch that interaction take place. So I
That's
like little
great.
things like that in games. Just a short little side mission, and you go through and you realize, oh, Dennis saves this guy. Oh, it's an Office reference. It's really nice and just a fun thing to experience.
Plenty of stuff to enjoy in that game.
Too much, man. Too much.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and okay.
I haven't binged it yet. Like there when it first came out, yeah, I did spend the day just playing Cyberpunk, but ever since, like, I've been just sipping it, taking my time with it,
Oh, like you are with Breath of the Wild.
kind of just like Breath of the Wild. And
Taking
still
your time with Breath of the Wild.
okay.
Just short breaths.
Okay, well, I don't know. Breath of the Wild's fun, but it's different. I don't know.
It's not replayable.
Yeah, I
You
don't.
can't- You play through Breath of the Wild, and you can experience everything it has to experience within a few hours and discover it all, and then finish the game, and you're like, yeah, I'm good. You don't really need to play it ever again.
That's
after
what
that.
that's what I'm doing. I've been doing some side missions because like all I have left to do is go to the castle and defeat Ganondorf.
Yeah. So you finished the game.
And I'm like, I don't want to finish the game yet. I'm like, I'd rather do some other side stuff and then go finish it. I want to go.
Yeah, it's funny
smooch
is
with
that
Zelda real quick.
I'm almost the opposite, where it's like I love stories, and that's why I love to just digest it all in one go. It's like, oh, I want to play this story, I want to go straight to the next part of the story, because in my head, the way I want to play it as if it is like a movie or it is just a story going from one to the other. And if I do a side mission, it's almost like, oh, well, let me just pause reality real quick and let me go do this thing over here, you know? So my mind just kind of changes it up.
Mhm.
But I'm forcing myself in playing Cyberpunk to do side missions to enjoy more things and make the game go longer.
I think Cyberpunk does a really good job of weaving the side missions with the story, so it's not really clear exactly what's the main story in the side. I mean, it is clear because you have the missions that say what it is, but as
Main
you're
job,
playing,
side
it's
job.
really easy to like. You're doing a main mission, and then suddenly it switches to a side mission, and you just keep doing it. You just keep going, and before you realize, you're like, oh, this is a side mission. I stopped doing the main story 3 hours ago. Like that happened with me when I was. I don't know if you guys have made it to Pan Am yet and helped
No.
her car. That's it. It's just her name.
Close to that.
All I know is that I need to freaking get in that tank. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the internet has told me. I'm like, you got to make it to the tank. I'm like, will do.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was running through Pan Am. I'm not going to say what happens in Pan Am. I was running through Pan Am's missions, and I finished the relevant story stuff. But I didn't realize that, and I just kept going on the Pan Am missions. And literally, it was like a few hours later, and I was like, "Oh, I'm Takamura's waiting for me in a diner. Like, how long has he been sitting there for? Sitting there just doing Pan Am's mission for like 6 days on like in game time."
It's like, do you understand how many omelets I've been eating until you got here?
Rice omelets.
And so, like, and I didn't even realize it because I was just going through. And I think Cyberpunk, like I said, does a good job of kind of just introducing you to these missions that are side missions, and then just moving you along that path. And then you might run into something else along the way, and it doesn't really feel like to me,
Cave
it's
discovered, like in Skyrim.
yeah. Well, in Skyrim, it kind of interrupts this. It interrupts what you're doing. You're walking and then, ooh, cave. Let me interrupt what I'm doing to go into this. But I think in Cyberpunk, it doesn't really interrupt what you're doing. It kind of goes along with it. Like there was one mission, I was going to a place I had to go to. Someone said, "You got to go pick up this thing from this building," and I go there. And as I go there, I get a call from that cop, Regina Jones, that cop lady that always, tells you about. There's this thing that we need you to do for this whatever reason. She's always telling you to get cyber psychos.
Yeah.
Anyway, she calls me and she's like, "Hey, you're in the area. I need you to go get this thing that's here, pick it up." And it was in the same building that I was going to. And so I got, and she called me and gave me that mission as I was doing another mission. And it was in the same building as the mission that I was already in. So I was like, oh, that's nice. So then I got to go through 2 side quests right there at the same time because the game introduced another side quest as I was doing one of them. And then they kind of flowed into each other.
Isn't that kind of
That's
creepy,
really cool.
though? The cops just know where you're at. You're like, hey, since you're there, why don't you help us out? I'm like, wait, why do you know my location?
Well, I mean, it is Cyberpunk world.
So people lose their privacy and
Literally an
future.
hour ago on Discord, someone asked on our Discord, asking the question, like, in any anime or any fictional world, which one would be the most amazing and incredible yet dangerous and scary world to dive into? We said several different places, but Cyberpunk's probably definitely one of the
Dark
ones
Souls.
that fills that. I would not be excited to live there though. Like I would love to live in Cyberpunk world. That looks awesome. But man, does that also sound terrifying with what the things that go on there.
The whole point of Cyberpunk is to be a social commentary on the level of control that corporations have over our lives and governments. And so Cyberpunk is a dystopian future in which corporations have become governments and they have their own armies and they fight and whatever, and life becomes meaningless because everybody's life is just to serve the rich corporate overlords and stuff. You give yourself to them. Like there's the corpos who their whole life is dedicated to, furthering the corporations, and everybody's, decked out in cyber gear that the corporations bought and designed and sell to the normal people. So everybody's lives just becomes, engrossed into the corporal warfare and all that stuff. So that's what it's about. And so that's why I think it would be a terrible place to live, because that'd be like, I mean, where to do this kind of, but like everything about your life was controlled by either Google or Amazon or Apple.
Facebook.
Except it's not just stealing your data, it's also forcing you to go to war and killing people and like, breaking into your house.
You want that new iPhone? Well, here,
Yeah,
bring me back
like-
3 bodies.
Exactly. Yeah, and if you don't have your cyber implants, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage and probably just get killed walking down the street because some guy has super bones or whatever. So,
Right?
Would
It's
you
just-
guys modify your body if we lived in that kind of world? Like
double jump.
double
That's
jump?
it. That's all I need. You can get double jump in the game.
What?
That sounds amazing.
Or super jump. You can power it up like a Baptiste.
Mm.
You guys are Genji or Baptiste. Double jump is awesome.
Or like force jump?
Yeah, it's great. You know,
I don't know if I would. I think I would want to.
Because the earliest thing we're gonna
If you
get
can
is
guarantee that you will live through it, yeah, heck yeah, I would. I'd definitely do it. I don't know
Because-
if I would go so into it to like change my face and my whole body is like completely changed. No, but I know if you have like a little bit cybernetic on your, you know, a little bit on your face or on your hand at least or something like that, I think that would be really cool.
because like it's coming. Like Elon Musk is working on that already, and I'm like, I don't know if that'll be our lifetime or whatnot, but like would you do it if it's available and affordable? You know, affordable, but like, you know, if it gets to that point, like where we are, what's the word, symbiotic with technology, like that's just a crazy thought to think, and that is like the future.
Symbiotic with technology. That would be pretty crazy.
So it's like, and I was listening to him talk once, but he was saying like, you know, like we're already kind of at that state now with our phones. We are one with our phone. We have access to the internet, and the internet has like all the information, you know, that we need or have available to us. And so like we don't have an answer to a question. We can just tap into our phone real quick and just find out what that answer is, you know.
Imagine being able to search through the internet just in your head.
I couldn't hear you, Tyler.
I said we've already done that twice on the podcast. In the last like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
Searching
okay.
the internet.
But yeah,
to
you
find
can order your
stuff.
groceries. You can order a ride. You can look up
Just
information.
imagine. I couldn't imagine being
Take
able
pictures.
to search the internet and doing stuff on the internet without having an actual phone. Like just imagining it and doing it in your head, and then it goes.
Oh,
and
I
gets
need to
done.
call someone. I don't need a physical device to do it. It's just boom, call
Your
Eric.
eyes are the phone. Like, you know how Google Glass is going to be a thing?
That was
Like,
too early for its time, you know?
Really, but imagine, oh, that's just your vision. Like, your eyes do that itself. The contact lenses or your eyes themselves are plucked out and they're replaced with mechanical ones that just right up in this top corner of your eye, picture of a person. Because in the game, your HUD is your eyes. Like, that's the guy's eyes.
Yeah,
So
all
that's
that
what you're
information.
seeing, all the
Yeah,
information.
you see all
So,
that. It's
You
crazy.
get a hand implant that connects to your gun, and it gives you information on the gun, like the targeting system, the amount of bullets available, and stuff like that. And then the phone and everything is just connected to your eyes. So you're seeing the person's image is because it's being projected by your camera eyes or whatever under the screen.
That is pretty crazy.
I guess technically, if they're mechanical eyes, they're being connected directly to the optical center of your brain, being projected directly to your brain. So,
So why did their lips move?
what do you?
Can you just think what you're saying instead of just actually verbally saying it? I don't know.
Because
I
they
think
gotta
they
make the
verbally
lips
say
useful for something.
Boom.
They would verbally say it because I don't think they're connected to the thoughts. I think
Oh, that'd be scary.
the optical system isn't connected to your thought system.
I wonder what Eric's thinking. Just call him real quick. You think
Some
I'm fat?
hard-
That sounds pretty scary. I'm sure there's hacks to be able to do that, though. I mean,
By
you
the
have
way-
like the dance. You have what's
Yeah.
the thing called the
Brain
dance,
Brain
brain dance
dance?
inside Cyberpunk. That's like next world stuff. That's crazy.
Those are cool. By the way, everything I'm saying is anatomically correct. There are seeing centers not connected to your thought centers in your brain. That's the right names for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The more you know. I watched Reading Rainbow when I was a kid. I know all of the things.
I watched a lot of NCIS Miami. I know all about it.
Oh, speaking of that, weird tangent, but I was looking at memes, reading the comments, and someone's like, you know, hit their car, hit and run or whatever, leaves a douchey note with no information, and like sticks it onto the guy's car with gum. And everyone's in the comments like, oh, busted, you got fingerprints on the gum. I'm like, dude, you can't just take that gum to the cops and be like, hey, find this guy. I'm like, no. Like, that's not how this works. Just because you have DNA, like their saliva or a fingerprint, doesn't mean the cops are going to find them or give a crap. Okay? The guy
you know how much
bumped
money
your bumper.
you need to be able to make these things happen? A lot more than what you're going to make if you do find them. Let me tell you.
He's not a terrorist. They're not going to hunt him down with every available cop in the tri-state area. Like,
I can just imagine. Close off the streets. Close the streets. Close all the stores. No freeway, no access, no exit to the city. We will find this man.
Looking at a guy with these fingerprints. Have you seen him? That's all we know about him. His fingerprints aren't in the system. He's never had a fingerprint certification card or committed a crime, so we don't know who he is. We just have this fingerprints. We see these fingerprints.
so I'm like, how stupid are these people online? And I'm like, I don't know.
You know what's the funniest thing is they type it out, and since there's no, when you're reading something online, and you can't type body language and you can't type like verbal inflections and stuff, it just reads like they're the most egotistical asshole in the world because they're just like so matter of fact. Why didn't you just get the fingerprints from the gum, and then you could use that to track the guy down and get his insurance information and then screw him? Like, obviously, that's what it seems like. It's just some guy yelling.
He's just upset and he knows everything.
Really, it's just
I've seen it happen.
Take the note. Take it to some like handwriting expert so you can go track him down.
We can land on the moon, but we can't scan this man's fingertips. Like, what?
In reality, it's some guy going like, "Oh, I wonder if this is what really happened." Probably the guy's typing it out. He was like, "Oh, maybe you could get the fingerprints from the gum. Maybe that's what some of the cops do. You should check the cops out and see." Like, he's just a nice suggestion. Maybe, I don't know. He's just like wondering out loud on Reddit comment or internet comment, but it comes across as just this douchebag.
No, yeah, seriously, like
That's how it goes, man.
And I got triggered by these comments. I'm like, idiots.
Yeah, I can't handle that.
You
I
understand
can't
my
handle
life.
stupid thought processes. Just it's like, why did that come to your head?
So anyway, so that's how Cyberpunk works. Is whenever you commit a crime, they have your fingerprints because you got rid of them by replacing your hands with blades. So they track you down.
Dude,
do you have a serial number in Cyberpunk? Like, I wonder.
I don't know. My guy's got
You don't have a social security. You got a serial number.
that would be interesting,
Real number.
right? That would be kind of cool, actually, but very dangerous too. I mean, dude, they have viruses on chips and stuff. They could literally hack your system from distance. Like, just imagine that. Just like this, what's her name? Meredith. I can't remember her name at all.
Oh, the military.
Yeah, Militech lady. I think that was her name. But she had like a virus inside the chip, so they use it or whatever to like get money. But it was actually would implement a virus and stuff. Like, I didn't follow that route, but I was like, that is so cool. Just the thought of being able to just give a virus to somebody in the cyberpunk world just easily without even any issue whatsoever.
See, that's exactly why I wouldn't want implants, because those things are getting hacked.
You know what else is getting hacked? Our voting system.
About it. If you can't even secure your cell phone from hackers, you think you're going to be able to secure your eye sockets? You think you'd be able to secure your freaking...
They're held
blades on your
ransom
car?
because they're like, hey, if you want to see again, forward me $500,000.
You want to see again? Jeez, man.
Exactly. Like, those things are getting... You think you're not a target now, you will be when you have freaking optical implants in your brain.
Did any of you pay off your debt to
Yes, that's the
Vic?
first thing I did.
First thing I did.
Yep.
Once I had $21,000, I paid that guy off. He's a good guy. He doesn't deserve to have your debt hanging over his head. And he's the only Ripper Doc I trust in Night City.
Yep.
Yeah, right? Like, I already met the other one when I was looking for Evelyn. Definitely don't want to trust anyone else.
Oh, you met that guy?
Yeah, I met that guy.
Killed him.
You killed him?
I killed him.
I was looking for Evelyn. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is just...
I straight up
guy
just once the
whack.
conversation, I shot him. I was like, this guy's not gonna live. I'm just not gonna let this happen. Just
Can you
boom.
perma-kill NPCs?
That guy can.
Wow. Well then.
Some people won't let you shoot them. Like you hover over their head and try to shoot, just doesn't. I tried.
I'm sure after you finish like certain
Do you try with
story
children?
aspects, I'm sure you could too.
I tried
Anyway,
with children. I haven't seen any children in the game. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen one kid.
I've seen a dwarf, like a really small dude.
Small person, yeah.
I was like, dude, you're tiny.
Maybe they just left kids out. Smart decision, by the way. If they did that, great idea. Kids suck in games.
I didn't realize.
And they only want to be targets of murder.
First mod I downloaded
Skyrim example.
Skyrim was the ability to kill children. And then I went to Whiterun and killed that stupid little Greymane girl, whatever her name was. Dead.
First
Boom.
one to die.
I'm not scared of you. Are you scared now?
Fus
Well,
will
you
die.
can't. Yeah.
You should have been.
You should have been.
Ay, ay, ay.
So, seems like we're all enjoying the game.
I'm having a great time. It's probably the best game I've played all year.
Probably
In a while.
Really, really good.
It's
best video game purchase, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, and So one guy, some people were going on, and they were saying the game has no depth of gameplay, which means absolutely nothing. When somebody says there was no depth to that, they say it because they have no idea why they didn't like something. And they don't want to think about it further, so they just go, "There's no depth." But I mean, why? What depth are you talking about? What does that even mean? Like, you need to go further into that because you could mean depth.
Depth in the story mode, depth in
yeah.
the world, depth in in how guns work or
Yes,
how to customize.
exactly.
Like, what are you trying to tell me? There's no depth in what?
Where is it lacking the depth? Because in the game, there is such a huge wealth of character options on how to play it. Forget about, because a lot of people are upset about like the lack of RPG options because it's not Grand Theft Auto Online, where you can be whatever you want and have no story at all, and it's just a sandbox where you can do whatever and go bowling. I think when people say that, they think having a lot of meaningless activities to do in a game is what having gameplay depth is. So they look at a game like, oh, you mean all I can do is drive around and do side missions and shoot people? I can't go bowling. I can't go to a strip club. I can't go golfing. I can't fly airplanes through circles. I can't jump out of the airplanes and dive through circles and land on the ground. They think that's what depth of gameplay is just meaningless chores that aren't actually fun. They just give you a number on the screen. Well, really, what depth of gameplay is when you get into a situation in a game, how many different ways can you accomplish that task? Or how good at the game do you have to be to accomplish that task? I think that's what depth of gameplay is. So I'm going to go look at Super Mario Brothers, the first one, or Mario, the first game. That has a lot of depth of gameplay. Yet the game is the same every single time you play it. It's never different. The depth of gameplay comes from the skill that you gain as you play the game. Like, you can speedrun the game, see how fast you can do it, get perfect at your jumping and perfect at the mechanics of the game. And there's depth there. That's depth of gameplay. In Cyberpunk, the depth comes from the amount of different ways that you can approach the individual missions and how you can complete them. So I'll use this as an example. I was playing one where you have to sneak into a warehouse, and it's pretty heavily guarded, so you have to do a lot to sneak in if you want to sneak in. Or you can just go guns a-blazing and shoot everybody, or you can, disable things and hack your way through and, take the sneaky route and knock people out, dump them in dumpsters and hide in bodies and stuff. Take a long time. You can do that too. What I did is I went and got double jump, jumped onto the roof, broke a window, dropped down, killed a sniper, and then jumped across barrel, warehouse boxes until I got to the spot I needed to go. Hacked into it, jumped back on top, jumped out of the roof, and ran away. No one knew I was there. Like, you could do it so many different ways. And so when you say there's no depth of gameplay, I don't have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what these people are talking about, because you have so many choices in how to play the game and how to build your character. Like, you want to build shotguns, you want to build power rifles, you want to build machine guns, pistols, hacking, stealth, swords, even swords and baseball, like battering instruments and stuff like that. Like there's a bunch of different options on how you can play the game and how to approach it. So that is depth right there. Doesn't matter if the only thing you can do is missions and shoot people, because there's a lot of different ways to actually complete those missions. That's what
I can agree with that. There is just the statement, the saying there is no depth in it, just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm already invested in the story with how much I've seen that way. I get lost in all the amount of options I can do to modify my weapons and my hack abilities and such. Like, just picking on my talent tree what I want to level up takes me 10 minutes to decide what I want to level up next. Like, I'm just like, I could start doing this, or I could start over here. I was like, I don't really know what I want to start doing right now. I have to literally think about it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
a game that has good gameplay makes it so that the choices you make in the game matter down the line. So if you make one choice earlier on in a game, it affects what happens later on. So go back to the simple Mario example. If you choose to jump at one point and it kills you, you lose a life. So you don't choose to jump there anymore. But then later on in a harder section of the level, you have less lives because you messed up earlier on. So in Cyberpunk, it's I chose to upgrade this instead of that. So later down the line, I can't do certain things. Like if you upgrade your technical ability instead of your body, you can no longer, like as you get higher in the game, there's certain doors you just can't get through because you can't break them open with your body. If you don't level up your technical ability, there's certain things you can't hack because you don't have the ability to hack them because the level's too high. So
I can hack literally everything because I have it so high. But the simplest door I can't budge open because I did not level up my body. I literally, in every game or anything I ever do, D&D or anything, my power level is always lower because I care about my acrobatic ability and my technical ability. You know, I focus on wisdom, being my charisma and my what's the other one? The athletics, whatever it's called, dexterity.
Yeah.
And so strength is always low. And so when I realized how many doors I can open if I was just a little stronger, I was like, definitely be nice to figure out how to get in here. so then I literally I focused on leveling up my power to the point that now it's like 7. I'm like, this is way higher than it used to be before. I'm like, all right, get in there.
That's the thing, though. So that's you have to make those choices, and when you make a choice to upgrade your technical ability, you're sacrificing another thing, so you can't do that anymore. So that's like there's a balancing there that you have to give something up to get something. And when you're choosing your perks, I think a lot of the perks are really relevant. A lot of the perks are really fun. Some of them are just boring. Maybe they're boring to me. Maybe they're fun to someone else. I don't know. But you look at them like, I really want that, and that. But I can only choose one at a time. And some I can only choose after I've got like level 18 in this.
Can you get to the point if you can like max out your character and have every single perk and ability, or no? Does there
I think the highest level is 50. I think 50 is the level cap. Let me check.
So you can't have every single ability in the game. It
would be fair. Yeah, I don't think it would be fair to be able to get max on everything. I'm sure you can unlock everything, but I don't think you can have everything active. You know
the max level of each attribute is 20, and you can only get to level 50. So you can only max out 2 of them, while the other 3 have like 5 or something, in 5 or more or less. So, or 20 distributed for the 3 of them. So yeah, you have to be careful on what you choose, and I'm sure a mod will come out soon that will break that level cap, or allow you to attribute all of them. I think it'd be fun to play around with all the perks at once, but it's nice when you're going through your first few playthroughs to be pigeonholed into suffering for the decisions you've made, because that's kind of a theme of the game.
That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm spreading out my stats. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what if it doesn't let me run out of perks eventually, like perk points, and I don't want to be stuck.
Yeah, that would definitely suck in a game.
There's a mod that you can reset them with. It's 100,000 eddies. You can buy it from some stores.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
So you have that, which it's not that hard to get 100,000. once you get higher missions and stuff, you get quite a bit of money. So
I just want a better car.
yeah,
Right now, that's what I'm 7 for is a better car.
Mm-hmm.
And a house. I'm just kidding. An house.
So I really like the game. I like the story. I finished my first story playthrough, so I had a really good time with it. I really enjoyed it. It made me feel like a huge jerk for the decisions I made throughout the story. So I'm not gonna spoil any of it, but I made the wrong choice.
Oh,
I was trying to please everybody.
is
and
there
it did
different
not work
endings?
out. I don't know.
It's everyone.
I don't really care. I'm pretty sure there are. Even if there isn't, the fact that the game makes you feel like you have control over the decisions you make is a win. Because when you're playing a game, the developer has full control over what you do, even in a game like this. They lead you where they want you to go. But if they can successfully make it feel like you're the one in control, then they've succeeded. And I think Cyberpunk succeeds in making you feel like you have control over your decisions in the story stuff. Even if that's not the actual case, it doesn't matter. The point is the feeling of it, the immersion.
Yeah, like because in some questions or whatever decisions that you make, there's always the yellow one, right? Which is the main one to get to the next question or whatever. But I always like to select some of the blue ones just to feel more immersed into the conversation and get more info. You know, just what do you think on this question or whatever, you know? And if you really don't want to, you just want to keep going, you literally could just go next one, you know?
I think they do a really good job. Like I've done all the blue ones too because they're interesting. All the characters are really interesting. Like I want to know more about them. I want to know more about the world. I sit in the elevators and watch the news stories because it's so interesting. And I think that's a benefit of them building the game off of a pre-existing universe because they built it off of a D&D kind of tabletop RPG called Cyberpunk, and that's what it's built off of. So they have all of this established lore that they can work from, which helps to build the world a lot while you're in it. And it's incredibly interesting. And they did a really good job building out these little characters that you can connect with and figure out more about their lives and help them with them. It's cool. Really good game. I would say again, I love it. Best game of the year for me. Best game since Skyrim.
Yeah,
boom.
I agree.
That's it. You got the official BitBoy review, kind of.
I'm talking now.
But I want to change gears real quick, because something else that is really big that's happening. Attack on Titan, the final season, season 4. So
as far as we are in right now, there's only been 3 episodes, and they're popping.
They are popping. Good episodes.
So we've just been like experiencing it through the other side of the world's point of view, through Reiner's eyes, kind of, and it's shedding so much light on him. Like I was telling Eric whilst we were watching them together, I'm like, season 1, you really like him. Season 2 and 3, you hate him. You're like, this guy's the enemy. He betrayed my trust. Like, I thought he was super cool. I hate him. And then now, season 4, you're like, wait a minute. He doesn't seem like a bad guy to me. Like, you know, you always hear, like, in war, like, the other guys, to them, we're the enemy, you know? So that's what it is. Like, Eren and his posse, island of demons or whatever they call it, devils.
They call them devils, yeah.
They're the enemy, but it's vice versa, you know? So it's like... And he's got kind of a tragic story too.
I love perspectives when it comes to stories, when they can add multiple perspectives that you can understand, you know, more than just be like, oh yeah, like, well, obvious. Most villains think that they're the good guy. Most of them do, but no matter how you look at their actions, you're like, no, yeah, they're definitely evil. Whereas in this, it's like, it's really hard to just say Reiner's a villain, Reiner's the enemy, because of the things that he's gone through. And the things that where he's from, what they believe, what they grew up with, you know, it's really hard to just say, yeah, they're the enemies of this series, you know. You can almost say this is protagonist team and this is all another protagonist team, you know, and they just are fighting each other.
Reiner is my favorite character. I think he's he's the best written one in Attack on Titan. after once season 4 starts. Isayama does a really good job of flipping the script, because up until now the protagonists have been everybody on the island of Paradise with Eren and all them, and then once we get into season 4 they flip it, and now the protagonists are the people in Marley, at least for the first 3 episodes it seems. I'm gonna try not to spoil anything. I'm caught up on the manga, so
Is the manga ended?
not yet. There's 2 or 3 more chapters, and season 4 will end with the manga. Like they're gonna be at the same place. So the show is pretty much caught up with the manga. I think this is a 24 episode season. So
Oh boy.
I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
the other. So this one should be, but they're gonna have to, because there's a lot of stuff they have to cover. So it gets pretty crazy. But yeah, Isayama does a really good job of, flip it over. We got new protagonists, and he builds these characters, and you'll love them just as much as the kids from the islands.
Well,
Despite some of the things they've done in the past.
One thing I mentioned to Eric is that like I don't know who to root for anymore. Like the first 3 seasons we've been rooting for like Eren, like yeah, go defeat all the Titans, go find out what's on the other side of the wall, go see the ocean, and like cool, he did all that. Well, he did defeat all the Titans, but like you're rooting for him, and then now it's like oh wait, the world is not what we think it is, and they're just literally in a bubble. And there's a whole different history going on that they're not aware of. And now it's it's like there's the conflict where with Reiner and his situation. I'm like, I don't even know who to root for anymore. And I feel like that's a good thing. Like it's like splitting my feelings towards these characters, and it's doing a great job.
An entirely new show, an entirely new everything, really. And it's really good.
Really good.
It's really good. It hit the reset button. That's what it did. It reset it all. So they finished the arc. Their arc's finished in the last season because they did everything they set out to do. They defeated the Titans. They drove them off the island. They saw the ocean and all that stuff, and they cleaned the island of Titans and everything, and they took control of their lives, and they saved humanity, at least from their perspectives. They saved them, and then they realized that, wait a second, we're not all that's left of humanity. We didn't save humanity, we only saved our own little island of humanity, which then opens up an entirely new arc for these people and all their things. And so we kind of hit the reset button, and so now we're coming into this from a new perspective. We've got new characters. We've got a new world to dive into, new people to explore, and new allegiances to form with these people. So it's kind of like coming into a new show where we've got some people that we recognize because, maybe they're from a trailer we've seen or whatever. Right. Or they're familiar from other shows that we've watched that they have to share traits with them. And you don't really know yet who the good guy and the bad guy is. Like when you're watching Naruto for the first time and you're like, well, Naruto's obviously the main character, but like, is Sasuke cool? Is he bad? Like, what's going to happen with them? Maybe that's a bad comparison, but it's that same feeling, I think, at least, where you're not sure what to think yet because you're not too far into the series, so you're not really sure who's going to portray who's.
It's like when Naruto's fighting Pain, and then Pain gives his whole speech on hatred and how it just is a circle. And literally, what he's trying to do is just fix everything, just the wrong way. But you start understanding him, and you start feeling empathetic. Not really sympathetic as much as empathetic, where you're just like, yeah, I understand. I get it. And it's messed up how it all came to this, but, I get it, And so it's really nice when stories are able to actually twist your feelings and your opinions on something. Because sometimes there are stories that try to do that, and you're just like, well, you kind of just sank him. You put him a little too deep into the hole, man. Like, there's no way to turn this around. You really want me to feel bad about Donzo? The guy screwed up everyone.
Oh, you cannot.
You can't. Yeah, when he was dying, it's like he kind of gives a flashback and a reason why he's so much of a douche. But then by the end of it, you're like, the series continues, and you realize that there's more people he actually messed up their lives along the show, and you're like, yeah, any of those empathetic feelings I may have tiny bit felt are definitely gone now. Because
You know
this
what?
guy just ruined everyone.
You know what though? Is Reiner probably killed and ruined more lives than Donzo ever had.
It's true.
But yet, he's still way more likable, and we're still willing to forgive him
Because it's
he
the
never
moment.
knew any of the people that he screwed over. Well, except for the island kid, but
It's true though.
How did you feel when Reiner was trying to like kill himself with the rifle?
that's sad. It makes sense though. He's so conflicted. Like his heart is broken.
He's mentally unstable at this point
Yeah,
too.
You literally see a guy jump off the roof and kill himself because of the trauma that he's suffered in the war. And there's a lot of people that are just like, that's so relatable in real life, you know? It's just war is hell. And you know, you just it's hard to keep going when you have, especially, you know, like survivor's guilt and stuff like that, where you're just like,
Well, Reiner
wow,
was also he was like a double agent too.
Yeah,
and like that messed with his head too.
Oh, it messed with him so hard. Like this kid. And
Oh yeah, he was a kid too. Yeah,
he was almost also trying to convince himself at the dinner table, you know?
I think he is the character with the most humanity out of any of the other ones. Because he comes to this new world, and at first he's like, power to Marley, destroy the island devils. But then one thing that Bertolt and Annie never really did is they never really befriended the people. Especially Annie. She didn't really care about them. She was in for
herself, yeah.
Reiner let
she was
his
a good
guard
soldier.
down. Yeah, she was a good soldier. Reiner let his guard down, and he cares. He's actually friends with the people. Like when that guy, what's his name, gets eaten by the Titans, and they kind of let him because they hear him talk.
Marco?
I think
Marco, yeah.
That got
and
to him.
Reiner's like, wait, why is the Titan eating Marco? Why aren't we helping him? What's going on? And like that's devastating because Reiner seriously cares about the guy, and he's got two personalities living in his head. He's got the Paradise Reiner and he's got the Marlene Reiner, and he doesn't. They're conflicting, and so when he's like, I understand why he wants to end it all because he's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. But then he doesn't because he's got those children that look up to him, and he's like, I got to stay up for them to make their world better. But he truly loves both the people in Marley and the friends he made in Paradise, despite betraying them. It's heartbreaking.
So here's my. Sorry, finish.
No, I'm done. Like it's heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
So here's my theory. I think so. We find out that at the end of episode 3 that Eren is there. It's like you said, reverse the script. Eren is now hiding amongst them, and I think that Eren is gonna somehow. Eren and Reiner, they're gonna convince each other or team up, and they're gonna basically stop this cycle and like basically rebuild the world. They're gonna be like, hey, maybe these like Titan shifters, we can like make a new system. I think that together they're gonna team up and they're gonna fix whatever needs to be fixed and stop the conflict. And I think that's how it's gonna end. That's my theory, though.
I was listening to that, and I was like, that could be definitely. I was as I was listening to that, I was like, I could understand that kind of idea. That definitely makes sense. I could understand why Reiner would want to end it all because he's friends with both sides, you know, and putting an end to all of the, you know, fighting and rivalry would definitely, you know, fix the chaos that's definitely in his head. I could see that, but. I don't know. The fact that Eren's coming in and attack, it looks like he's going to kind of like come in and attack the other city is almost crazy to think about just because, you know, Reiner attacked his and now Eren's back in his town, you know, his side of the world. And he's just like, oh, you might just come back to you, you know? Revamp episode 1 and 2.
Is it really obvious that that's Eren?
I did not think until that last scene in episode 3. I'm like, wait, this is Eren because I remember from trailers. I'm like, Eren has long hair. This guy has long hair. Yeah. This guy is saying, I don't know where my family is. I can't see. You know. I'm like, wait, this guy is like now sticking out. And then at the very end, you see his eye. I'm like, that's Eren's eye.
And in the episode before, he was wearing the patch on the wrong arm.
Yeah. So it was giving out hints. You're like, wait, this guy's not fitting in. This guy is just like. He's making it too he's trying to blend in and he's sticking out a little bit.
Yeah.
If you catch it.
Right.
So
yeah, he did seem different. And where there's some people talking, he was the only one just standing there. In some moments where you're just like, yeah, he has no one to talk to because he doesn't know any of these people.
His face is covered. He wants to hide his face. So like,
yeah.
So in the,
I don't think it was obvious, but it is recognized. You can recognize it.
It's recognizable. Yeah, obvious is probably the wrong word, but I didn't know who would get that was Aaron or not because they didn't like. It's not an explicitly revealed, but I guess the context clues are enough to be like, yeah, that's.
I picked up on it. I'm
he's
like,
got the same eye color and hair color, and the facial features are drawn the same.
it's only it's only till the end of episode 3 that I made the connection. Like episode 1 and 2, he's under my radar.
That's probably purposeful as well to finally make that subtle reveal at the end there. In the manga, I had no idea until. Like, I had no idea because I can't recognize anybody in the manga because everybody looks exactly the same to me. I don't have the discerning manga eye to tell characters apart because they all look. I don't know who anybody is.
When I read the manga, I couldn't tell the difference between Jean and Aaron. I'm like, they're the same guy.
Anybody. Every time Armin comes on the screen in a panel, I'm like, who is that again? And then another one switches another panel, it's supposed to switch panels, but I still think it's Armin, and they're completely. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on.
That's the thing
Armin
about
was Historia.
compare it to reading mangas of like Naruto, where each of the characters is like distinctly different.
Well, they all have the same uniform.
Has different things, you know.
They all wear different clothes in Naruto.
Sasuke has the Uchiha crest on his back. Naruto looks like Naruto. Pain has piercings. You know, it's just obvious who is who in Naruto or any other anime that's, you know, similar to that. Or Attack on Titan, a lot of people do wear the same clothes. A lot of people look and dress the same because of what the era or what they, where they live. It's true. It's really hard to tell.
That is not the fault of Isayama. That's not a condemnation of the quality of the manga. That is most definitely me not being attentive to detail. And Isayama is a single guy painstakingly drawing these panels, and he does a really good job. He is a great artist, and not only drawing, but storyboarding and writing the story. And so he's one guy drawing tons and tons of panels by hand just to get these things perfect. And so I'm not blaming him one bit for them looking the same. It's the time period, it's the setting he wanted the story to take place in. The story would be kind of silly if they all had different clothes and looked like Naruto characters, and it wouldn't work. It would not be as serious and as impactful as it is. So it all works together, and it's fine. I'm just dumb.
Blame my Sharingan over here for the lack of ability to discern.
So that's exactly what's going on. I end up figuring it out.
With context
I don't know
clues and all
anybody's
that.
names. I just know in general what's happening. But yeah,
You know
it
what
wasn't clear that was Aaron till later on in the manga. So
Yeah. So something I really appreciate is just how they're filling in all these like little holes from the first couple episodes. They're like, oh, this leads up to this. You know, these are this character's feelings as they're doing this action. And you're like, oh, now that you tell me this, that flips everything that I was thinking when I initially watched it. Like Reiner bursting through the gate. I'm like, I think he's like, oh, rage monster. I gotta, I didn't even know about shifters at this point. I just know I'm like, oh, I'm big monster. I'm gonna go eat everyone. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I did not know he was conflicted the whole time he's bashing through the wall.
he's a child. He's like maybe 12 years old.
I mentioned that while I was watching too. I was like, you know what? This entire time, it should be obvious to me, but I did not even think about the fact that while Eren is being attacked by the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan, they are all very young. Reiner, Bertold, and Annie are the same age. They're just as old as they are. They are also kids attacking. I don't know why I didn't even think about it. I never really just came across, never crossed my mind that they are the same age. I guess in my head, I just always thought they were always the same age. They were never aging, as whatever age they were, 16, 17, whatever. But yeah, I know. I thought about it when, Reiner was actually charging at the wall. I was like, holy cow, these guys are kids also, and they're just put into this situation to just. I need you guys to go and attack this place.
And earlier that day, one of their
Find
friends
them,
got
take 'em.
killed.
Friends got killed. They had to decide whether to abandon mission or stay on it. They're like, and then now like years have passed and they don't really have much to go home with. So they're like, do we stay? Do we go back? They're like, so it's like the clock is ticking, and these kids are just slowly, or at least Reiner specifically, he's slowly, self-destructing. So
do they know when they kidnap Eren, and I think it's a season 2 arc, right?
Yeah.
When they kidnap Eren, they take him to the forest. And
yeah, that's season 2.
Had the Beast Titan showed up at that point? I don't remember.
Yeah.
He shows up the first time he shows up was when they're in that.
No.
That's season 3, I think.
No.
Beast Titan.
No, Beast Titan is on season 2. He's in the very first episode of season 2 because he eats the friend of Levi. He's second in command, the one with the nose that can smell like everything. He talks and he eats him right there. He's also the reason that brings out all the Titans to Wall Rose.
Okay,
because
that's
where Emir is and Reiner is, right?
Because there's
Emir
no hole in the wall.
Right. Emir transforms for the first time. Everyone's wondering why the heck there's Titans over here, and they're confused why there's no hole in the wall. It's because the Beast Titan's literally just chucking them over here like...
Or he brought people and he transformed them. Can he transform people?
Yeah,
Zeke?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like Zeke can transform people. Because at the first episode, they were like in parachutes, and then he screamed, and they all transformed.
Yeah, he's got that power. He injects them with his spinal fluid, and then when he screams, they transform into Titans.
That's crazy.
Does Eren have 2 powers? He's the Attack Titan and the Coordinate, right? The Founding?
The Attack Titan and the Founding Titan. He has those 2. But he can't use the Founding Titan because he doesn't have royal blood.
Oh, so he's just the Attack
that's
Titan.
right.
He's not part of the bloodline of Ymir, so he can't use it. So, but when they kidnapped him the first time, I don't know if there wasn't a second time, but when they kidnapped Eren, did they know they didn't know he had the Founding Titan at that point. They just thought he was the Attack Titan.
Yeah, they were just like, okay, he could transform into a Titan, and he can control it and everything. Well, yeah, we need him. Also, Emir can transform into the Jaw Titan. So yeah, we need her too. So they're just like, we got the 2 Titans, now we need to get out of here.
We got one. We didn't get one we wanted, but we got one that we didn't have before. That's something.
Yeah, so at least they could come back, not as failures. And then they found out that he actually did have. They found out
he did at the end of season 2, right, when he punches the Titan hand.
Yeah, and he goes up, and then the Titan comes out of nowhere.
And they all attack
Smiley Titan.
The Smiling Titan that killed his mom.
Mm-hmm.
His dad had the Founding Titan, right?
His dad had. So what happened is his dad took the Attack Titan, right?
Oh, okay.
And then used the Attack Titan to attack the family of the Founding Titan, which was the royal family, and then took the Founding Titan from them, and then gave it to Eren by making Eren eat himself.
So okay.
Nice.
Then what's the Coordinate?
That's the Founding Titan.
Oh, okay. Just different names. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that is also why Historia is supposed to be eating Eren, correct? He's the dad of Historia. They wanted her to eat him because of
she has
Coordinate,
the royal
and she
blood.
has the royal blood, right?
Yeah.
And so she would be able to use it, but she was like,
because anybody with royal blood who was on the island of Paradise is a descendant of the first king who made a pact and with the blood of the Titan or whatever, like you can control the blood, the people of Ymir, the Eldians, with the Founding Titan, right? And so he made the pact that anybody who has this can't use any of the powers. Like they can't call forth the Wall Titans or any of that. So
like I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't even know.
This story is crazy though.
It's crazy.
I literally have to go through it all in my head over to make sure I.
Oh, it's
there's a
crazy.
lot.
No, I can't wait for it to be finished so that we can talk about everything that happens. Because I'm over here like,
oh, I remember.
Because Tyler knows everything, basically.
So
We're just trying
Aaron,
to
he became a Titan around the same time as Reiner and gang, right?
Yeah.
So that means
Yeah.
at this point in time in the episodes 4 and on, he only has a year left, right?
All of them do. It's been 13 years. I thought they had a few more years than that.
I don't know. At least Zeke was saying like we have within a year to take back the founding Titans. Oh, okay.
Zeke has
Yeah,
1
Zeke-
year left. I think the other guys have 4 years.
Oh, okay.
They spent 5 years on the island, right? And then I think it's a 4-year time skip from.
So he's at year 9. But then he was
Yeah.
saying he's gonna pass it on to someone else. Like either they're looking 5 years in advance, or it's like coming up real soon. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
If
remember.
I'm
the
not
exact-
mistaken, Zeke already had the Beast Titan when
He had it
Reiner
for a
was also
while.
younger anyway.
Yeah, he did.
Like when he was younger. Not when like he already had it. Even younger than that, Zeke already had it.
Zeke's several years older than the rest of them,
Yeah.
so he got it probably around their same age.
Wait, actually maybe not. Because if I think about it, when they were going over in the anime, when everyone got the 9, right? When they were giving it to them, they went over giving Zeke the Beast Titan stuff. They went over like they were giving him the Beast Titan because of the flinging ability and it just fits him or whatever.
I'm pretty sure he already had it at that point.
Maybe.
I
I don't know.
mean-
I'd have to go through it. Can't remember.
I'm gonna rewatch
Does
the
it-
show again.
Yeah,
He says again because he's already rewatched it 2 or 3 times.
And I don't really do that especially with anime, but this show, man, you miss things, and every time you watch it, you just learn something new.
I would rewatch Naruto more if it wasn't,
So
going to
long.
take up a fourth of my life to rewatch it. But, Attack on Titan is a little easier to rewatch. It's still pretty long. It's like deciding to rewatch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It'll take you just about as much long time.
Isn't Brother only 40, 50 episodes?
64.
Oh.
Brotherhood 64. The first one's 30. Because they had no idea where the manga was going. She got the author of Full Metal Alchemist got sick, and they were like, "Oh crap, where was she gonna go with this? We're just gonna make it up as we go from here."
Okay, so Zeke got the Beast Titan 3 years before the other ones got their Titans.
Oh, okay. Got it. So they
So
got
Reiner's
it.
on year 10 or 11 or something.
4
like that?
years, yeah. 9, I think.
Okay, so he has 3 or 4 years left. Cool.
Yeah, so they got theirs in year 845.
Wouldn't hurt to find someone to take it early. Just in case.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, okay, I'm still kind of lost about the whole Marleyans and Eldians. What is the difference? I guess.
What's the definitive difference?
Oh, so Eldians are descendants of Ymir. They're the only ones that have the Titan blood. They're the only ones that can
Who's Ymir again?
the one that held the founding Titan first, who gained the power of the Titans the first time.
I thought for some reason my memory was she was the first human. Is she
No, the
not?
first Titan, not the
Okay,
first human.
okay.
Gotcha.
So she had a bunch of kids, and they all inherited different Titan powers or something like that. I don't know. It's a really weird story.
So it's just humanity, and eventually there was
Yeah,
there's the
they're
first Titan,
separate
and that's
races.
Ymir. And then from
basically-
there, that's the Eldians, and the humans are
Yeah.
called
And the
Marleyans.
rest- That's just a country. Marley is just a country. There's other countries too. But Marley is just one country, and then Marleyans are just the country that has control over the Eldians. Basically, Eldians are Jewish,
And then
and Marley is Germany.
what about the island of Paradise or whatever?
They are Israel.
No, but are they?
I like how you're
Are they
comparing
Eldians?
it all now.
Because now you're making me even more
Yeah,
confused.
yeah. They're all Jews too. So think of it like this: World War II. You have a bunch of Hitler comes to power, puts all of the Jewish people in internment camps. Marleyans come into power; they put all the Eldians into internment camps. But then we still got the country of Israel, which didn't form until years later, I don't think. But anyway, you got a bunch of Jews in the Middle East, and they're separate from all the ones in Germany. That's the island of Paradise, separate from all the ones in Germany.
How were they there before?
What do you mean? They took a boat.
No, but whatever. Why are they where they are?
They just left. I don't know.
They just
I think it's
left,
explained
or were
later
they
on.
cast out?
Didn't explain it yet in the last season.
I thought they did, but I don't know. I just remember.
See, I'm not going to explain it because I think it explains it into much greater detail in the next, it'll probably do it in the first half of this season. I think.
I just remember my last watch through of Attack on Titan. I did stop right before they got into the basement and they did all that, lore dump, and I'm like, I don't want to read it or listen to that right now. So that's why I'm not very brushed up on that right now.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what about the history of the world is not yet revealed, because it's all once it's revealed, it's like, oh, that's just that happened here, slotted in right there. Now it's one big long timeline instead of you have pieces.
Right, once
and
this
stuff.
revealed, yeah.
My puzzle is complete. Your puzzles are not yet. So I don't know which parts were out and are not in at the moment for the history of the place. But yeah, there is a reason why they left. And
Gotcha.
I think it'll explain it. Maybe I think it goes into detail within the next few episodes, because the next episode is gonna, it's about, I think the tagline for it has to do with a family revealing something.
The fancy family live in their mansions. The Tylers,
The tiger knee.
It starts with a T.
Tibbers.
Tiber.
Yeah, the Tibers. They have something to say. Do you know? Have they revealed all of the different Titans yet?
We got the cargo,
Believe.
which is
So
that
there's
girl.
9 of them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Zeke is the beast. Aaron is.
They
the
went
cat.
over all the ones that the people
Ames.
have.
So we got female attack, beast, cart, jaw, colossal, armored. We're missing 2.
You said beast.
You say attack and founding.
Is
Founding.
founding
We
a
didn't say
different
founding.
Founding is one, yeah.
one? Okay, then founding, and then
So we're missing 1.
We're missing the 9th beast.
So it hasn't revealed what the 9th one is yet.
No.
Yeah,
so we got
I
attack,
believe. Yeah, I
Founding,
don't think so.
beast,
It will do that.
armored, colossal, jaw.
So then it
Yeah.
hasn't gone into the details yet. It'll do the so it'll go into the
Cart.
details of the history in the next 2 or 3, 4 episodes.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to them.
So in
Yeah,
season
correct.
3, we had a part 1, season 3, part 2. Do you think they'll do
Yeah.
part 1 and 2 for season,
Yeah,
the final
probably.
season?
Yeah. Yeah, so
48
this one is
episodes?
yeah.
48 episodes.
I'd be okay with
Double
that.
the anime.
No, I'd like that too. That'd be great. Okay, so the introduction of the next episode for episode 4 says Magath sorts out the military for the Tibber family to tell the truth. So it's gonna do a lore drop next episode, basically.
Nice.
And it's a very interesting one. Super awesome.
Love lore drop.
Episode,
do.
what,
Maybe-
17,
maybe-
19 of Darling in the Franxx?
I was gonna say that's not me being sarcastic either. I
It
do
makes
like
sense.
I do
It is
like
not,
good lore
it is
drop.
not like, and the Titans came from space.
The Earth turned to magma energy.
You just see a meteor, it just opens up, meteors falling from the sky, out crawls like a Titan. It's like, ugh.
What if the first Titan came from space?
That'd be so annoying.
It ends up being that,
It's already getting
long.
crazy how the anime goes from this to this. You don't need to add extraterrestrials coming in, okay? We don't need that anymore.
We need world-breaking power scaling,
Here comes in Optimus Prime and Megatron, and now they have to fight mechanical titans.
We think
like,
Mappa's
no, don't
the
need
studio?
this.
No, it's Trigger.
They're gonna activate the rumbling. The walls are gonna crumble, and all the cloth walls.
It's just a spaceship.
come out.
It's a spaceship and they leave.
Rockets. It's gonna lift the island.
They all harden in certain positions to create a ship instead of a wall.
Around and push it up. All have rocket feet. And lift the island of Paradise into space. While the Earth is destroyed.
That's the true ending right there.
That would officially make it a crazier and
Oh my
probably
goodness.
worse ending than Darling in the Franxx.
That was so stupid.
Such a good show, ruined.
Colossal titans with rocket feet.
Kind of like, like the man that held the whole world kind of deal.
Atlas?
Colossal Titan just grabs everything, just we're dipping. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, that's the solution to the Eldian Marleyan problem. Just get rid of all the Eldians. Go to space.
We're out. It's like Atlantis. We're out of here. They just go down.
Just take the internment camps and put them somewhere else.
Imagine like living in this world, and you're just like on the other side of the world. Okay, your history is not even like you don't even know what's going on. And then skip a couple centuries, millennia further, and now you know a bit more about the world and the past. And then at some point you're in history class and you're teaching them this history that happened over here. They're like, oh, by the way, there was Titans on the other side of the world in a different continent.
They don't exist anymore. They lifted off to space. They've been gone for 1,000 years.
I like you think people are crazy, and then like,
now, maybe aliens did build the pyramids.
oh, and they just blasted off.
It's starting to make sense.
Easter Island, Stonehenge, pyramids.
Roman
all-
Colosseum.
I mean, well, we believe it.
Colosseum. We know who built that. The Romans.
We literally have the knowledge of them, like Aaron in Aaron's where how they have the knowledge of the Titans. This is literally the equivalent. We have no idea what's happening. We all came from
the Galapagos Islands.
The world was gonna shatter one day. We're gonna realize it's all a lie.
You ever seen that meme where it's like the Easter Island head, and then the Stonehenge is the toes? It's just one body going across the world. That's the center of the world. It's just body.
Oh, just a big body.
Oh no! So you got Easter Island head, you got Stonehenge toes, and then you got the Washington Monument, and that's the penis.
That's great.
I think we've hit our limit.
I think we're getting tired now.
To say about anything.
How long have we been going on now?
Quite some time.
Hour and a half. Yeah, we going.
Oh boy.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Let's just cut it here, boys. We gotta prepare for Christmas, wrap some gifts, go stuff a turkey. I don't know.
I'm making a porchetta.
I don't know what I'm making yet.
Horchata. That sounds good.
Probably make
It's
some
just-
breakfast for dinner. I don't know.
Sounds
Welcome
good.
to America.
Also making
Boom.
what?
You said America. I'm
I said,
American
"Welcome
now.
to America. He said, boom. Yes.
So it ends when Eric says "Welcome to America."
Sure.
Boom. Cut.
No, we cut somewhere else that he says.
We cut after I say, watch One Piece.